Welcome back, Nation of Glory. Today, we open a story that doesn't just rise, it sings. A story of passion, charisma, confidence, and craft. A story carved by belief so strong it bent reality to its will. This isn't just the tale of a wrestler. This is the journey of a performer, an entertainer, a force who turned dreams into music, and music into magic. This is the rise of Joseph Samuel Hendry. The world knows him simply, famously, powerfully as Joe Hendry. And when Joe Hendry walks into the room, when his voice hits the air, when his theme echoes through an arena, one thing becomes clear. You believe. Not because anyone forces you. Not because a machine promotes him. You believe because greatness, real greatness, forces something inside you to wake up. That is Joe Hendry's gift. And tonight, we step into his journey, cinematic, emotional, larger than life, a tribute crafted for wrestling fans who love heart, humor, talent, emotion, and fire. A Hollywood-style telling of a Scottish marvel who broke the mold and broke expectations, capturing hearts in TNA, capturing imaginations in NXT, and capturing the world with charisma that can't be taught, only born. So sit back, breathe, let the story play not only in your ears, but in your heart. Because this is Joe Hendry's rise, and once you hear it, once you feel it, once you live it, you'll believe too. He began as a boy in Scotland, where the air carries history and every wind whispers stories of warriors, poets, kings, rebels. Joe grew up not with silver spoons but with ideas, and a hunger to entertain. Some kids dream of capes. Some dream of crowns. Joe dreamt of cheering crowds, lights, and moments that made strangers smile. He didn't begin in wrestling rings. He began with music, the first love that ignited his spark. Music was his language. While others slept, he practiced. While others doubted, he tuned his vision like a guitar string, tight, sharp, unwavering. But life doesn't always greet dreamers with applause. Sometimes, it greets them with silence. Sometimes with doubt. Sometimes with voices whispering, "It won't work. You can't do it. Be realistic." Joe heard those voices, but didn't obey them. Dreamers don't bow to doubt, they break it. He trained his mind, trained his voice, and then, trained his body. Because something inside him knew. Why choose between passions when you can conquer them all? Most wrestlers build strength first. Most musicians polish songs first. Joe did both. Why? Because some people are born for only one path. But some, like Joe Hendry, are born to build their own. And as he stepped into wrestling for the first time, people didn't just see talent, they felt potential. He wasn't trying to fit wrestling, wrestling had to expand to fit him. He trained, he fought, he improved. With each match, each fall, each bruise, something grew sharper, his belief. Soon, arenas began to buzz not just for the athlete, but for the entertainer. His entrances became an art form. His voice became a weapon. His creativity turned matches into spectacles. Fans didn't just look, they laughed, they sang, they reacted. Because wrestling isn't only strength. It is emotion. It is connection. It is electricity. Joe Hendry was all three. But success doesn't rise in a straight line. It twists. It tests. It challenges. There were setbacks. There were moments where the world felt heavy, where the spotlight dimmed, where the next opportunity wasn't promised but earned through stubborn heart and relentless work. And he kept going. Because the world remembers those who refuse to quit. TNA saw him. Believed in him. Handed him a stage big enough to start shining. And he filled it. Not just with wrestling skill, but with personality so natural you couldn't ignore it. His charisma painted every segment. His voice turned arenas into arenas of laughter, hype, and heart. People didn't just come to watch him win. They came to feel something. And that's a rare gift. He reinvented the wrestling entrance. He reinvented the wrestling promo. He gave fans something pure, joy. With every note he sang, every grin he flashed, every confident walk to the ring, Joe Hendry told fans. Believe. Not in fantasy. Not in luck. Believe in ambition. Believe in creativity. Believe in going all in on yourself. That energy lifted him. Lifted the TNA brand. Lifted everyone who watched. And then, the wrestling world tilted again. The doors of WWE's NXT opened. Partnerships formed. New arenas. New audiences. New crowds waiting to judge, waiting to feel, waiting to see if this man was truly as good as they heard. He walked in with no fear. His smile wasn't nervous, it was knowing. Because when you carry talent and believe in your gift, new stages don't intimidate you. They welcome you. And when his song hit in NXT, when fans chanted his iconic mantra, "I believe in Joe Hendry," something historical happened. Two worlds collided. Two fanbases united. One performer stood unshaken in the center. TNA star. NXT phenomenon. Bridge between promotions. Proof that charisma and authenticity break boundaries no contract ever could. Every step he took felt like a celebration of daring dreams. Every match, every microphone moment proved, you don't have to be the biggest to be powerful. You don't have to be the loudest to be heard. You only need to be unforgettable. And Joe Hendry is unforgettable. His story isn't built on scandal. It's built on skill. Not on shortcuts. On creativity. Not on ego. On entertainment. Not on anger. On joy. In a world where too many chase toughness by being cold, Joe showed strength through personality, humor, and heart. He proved that making people smile is a superpower of its own. What's next for him? Championships, songs, legacy. His journey isn't finished, it's rising. Like a chorus building, like a crowd swelling, like destiny tuning a guitar for its biggest show yet. One day, the world will look back at this era and say, this was the time when Joe Hendry changed wrestling. Not with force, with presence. Not with fists alone, with charm. Not with arrogance, with belief. And young dreamers, musicians, athletes will say, he did both. So can I. Joe Hendry teaches one lesson loud and clear: never close your world to just one passion. If your heart sings, let it sing. If your soul fights, let it fight. Combine them. Own them. Become the artist, the athlete, the energy only you can be. Because in life, like in wrestling, the world won't always believe in you first. So you believe in you, until they have no choice but to join. And they will. They always do. Just ask the thousands who chant 3 famous words when he appears. Words that turned into magic. Words that turned into movement. Words that will echo for years to come. I believe in Joe Hendry. Thank you, Nation of Glory, for taking this journey with us today, a journey of voice, vision, charisma, and pride. If this story moved you, if you felt that spark, that emotion, that belief, show your love. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a reminder that dreams don't have limits unless you give them limits. We rise together. We believe together. And next time you hear that familiar theme, remember, belief is the first step of greatness. Nation of Glory, signing off. Stay inspired, stay bold, stay passionate, and never stop believing.